Whoa. 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 Ho, ho. It's the illusion reporting from somewhere on space ship Earth, baby. Where that is, nobody knows. I don't know. Well, we're here for another episode of Sober Wednesday. We made it. One more Wednesday under our belt, man. Love you too, Jason Allen. What's happening? Sober Wednesday, man. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can. Courage to change the things I can. Sober Wednesday, baby. Well, this hour is dedicated to those who suffer, whatever that may be, from drugs, alcohol, fear, sex, loneliness, suicidal ideations, mental illness, telepathy, chaos, whatever it is, man, whatever you suffer from, there is a solution, and this hour is for that, is for those who suffer, so that the people with the solution can help those who suffer, right? Many people don't have a network of like-minded people to communicate with, so that this hour is for that. So as always, I ask that the chat be kept to the solution and to helping those who suffer, man. There's a lot of suffering going on out there, dude. And it doesn't have to be any further than the person looking you back in the mirror, right? So with that said, this is it's not an AA meeting, though I am an alcoholic, and I achieve my sobriety through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, which can be applicable to whatever your problem may be, man. Because it's not the substance or the condition or whatever you're addicted to. It's removing that so you can have a closer relationship with God, because there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. So with that said, I read chapter 5, How It Works, from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, which is a pretty basic 2-page template to getting to a solution, man. And you know, the solution's about eliminating the problem, or at least not denying the problem. So with that said, how it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we're like now. If you've decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. At some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil till we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge for his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and practice these principles in all of our affairs. Many of us exclaimed, what in order? I can't go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter of the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after made clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. And C, that God could and would if he were sought. Oh boy, dude. And there it is, man. There it is. How's everyone doing out there? How's everyone doing out there on this Wednesday? I gotta admit, I feel physically off, I feel spiritually off, and I somewhat feel emotionally off. So I feel a little off, man. Anyone relate? I think I'm dehydrated. The universe is infinite. What need? I've been able to balance a ketamine habit for 10 years. I love it. Should just read that. You should just read that sentence back to yourself in the mirror. Yeah, porn's brutal. You should read that sentence back to how does it go, dude? How is the deception reveal itself? I've been able to balance a ketamine habit for 10 years. I love it. Grim. Brendo. How do you get over job burnout? Be of service, man. Be of service, dude. So it's like everything else, dude. Different vibe, man. Circle back on you, Ethan. I got something to add to that. So job burnout, right? It's life burnout. It's all things are burnout, and it always comes back to be of service. So, right, you're not at job just to collect a paycheck. You're at job because that's what you do. That's what you do that day. So if you're burnt out on it, it's because you're future tripping. All right, Nick Shiv, dude, you're out of here, dude. You're of no use to what we're doing here. I won't delete you yet. Oh, Brendo timed you out. Oh, good for you, Brendo. And so when you get burned out, man, you got to recenter your thing and realize that you're there to be part of an environment, right? Because the reason that you're burnt out is you don't want to be there anymore, right? You've been there too long, you're tired of it, whatever it is. So you got to regroup because you can't escape it. So again, you're supposed to figure out what it is that's there that you're not addressing, dude. And Usually it's just disconnecting with the now. It's a spiritual problem. And the easiest way to retune back into a spiritual problem is not to make it about you, right? Go show up and be the very best you can for your team, your coworkers, your boss, whatever it is. Go make their day better. Instead of it being a job, how about it be just an exercise in making other people stoked. So if you're burnt out, I imagine they're burned out, right? So be the catalyst of change, right? Be the catalyst of change. Zareth, what's going on, my brother up on the coastline? You're doing good here, Hamish. That's all I wanted to say. Happy to see you thriving, man. Thank you, Zareth. Hey, text me, man. I got your number. I always lose track of it for some reason, dude. I'm gonna be needing to be checking in with you this coming winter, dude. Porn's gnarly. Porn's like everything else, man. It's just something to separate you from 2 months sober. Bingus, good for you. So burnout comes in a lot of different ways, man. You can get burned out on the day. You can get burned out on a lot of stuff, dude. Is being a catalyst for change different than casting pearls? I don't know what casting pearls means, heavyweight dancer, but can Mary Kitchen's roast beef hash is the bomb home. So it's this thing, dude, is, yeah, porn, drugs, alcohol, 12 steps works on them all, man. Again, it's just realizing that you have a problem, dude. And the problem can come in many forms, man. Like, right, all right, like today, right? So, I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm burned out with dealing with jackasses with customer services and trying to do something new. All right, well, that's the thing, is you got to go solve the riddle of the nowness of it all, right? So you can't run from it. So what you got to do in order to change your thing is put your intention out there, right? It's like anything else, unmanageable powerlessness. So and again, it's surrender to the flow. You're going to show up to work tomorrow, but begin to aim the ship in a new direction. Maybe it's time for a career change. Maybe it's time for something new. But you can't run from it. You have to figure out why you're at where you're at, right? Why are you at where you're at? Why are you at customer service, burned out, feeling disconnected? Everybody's an a-hole. This sucks, right? That's a personal reality you're experiencing, right? So if you run from that environment and don't use it as a moment to grow, yeah, addiction to people's know it's called codependency, dude. Use it as a moment to grow. You'll just find that same burnout in the next job, dude. The burnout's everywhere, dude. Like it's funny. Like, I feel cooked today, dude. Lethargic. I feel lethargic. I kind of had a good start. I got up at like 5 this morning, watched the sunrise. I kind of wasn't ready for it, dude. I got tired. I kind of had to take a nap from like 7 to 8. Got up, went and met Cal Folk 7 at his campsite up the river. He's there visiting with his dad, so I wanted to go say hi. Came back, worked on the bunkhouse for a bunch of hours, rewiring stuff. Took a swim in the pool with Al. Kind of took a nap and woke up like 2 hours ago. Completely just out of sorts, dude. Yeah, customer service, the worst, bro. I get it, but it's you're there for a reason, man. And so it's super hot up here today, and I went and I was like, let me go water my garden. Let's go water the trees and water things. And one of my blueberry bushes is like cooked, and I'm like, I just got all super bummed on my blueberry bush, and I was like, is my new apple tree I planted, am I overwatering it, underwatering it? So the dilemma, right? Am I overwatering, underwatering? Like, what am I doing? There you go, Zareth, dude. There you are. Thank you, brother. And I hope you come up and visit me too, man. I'll send you my location. And you're sitting there and you feel powerless, dude. Like see, powerlessness isn't just addiction. It's addiction to this life of the balance and out of balance and trying to stay in balance all the time. And sometimes you just gotta be out of balance, dude, in order to regain your balance, if that makes sense. Like it's like I'm a skateboarder, right? And a surfer and stuff. And sometimes when you're gonna eat it, the worst thing you can do is try not to eat it. Sometimes you just gotta lean into the fall and tumble it out, roll it out, versus trying to save yourself all the time. Like addiction to saving yourself's real is not when you have a well, Kimmy, and you're in the mountains. And so you gotta, you learn that sometimes the answer is, yeah, ride out the first 3 sets of speed wobbles till you turn your will and your life over to the care of God as you understand him. Yeah, trying to find the balance, but sometimes it's like imperfection's the key to perfection, right? Sometimes the secret to balancing is being out of balance, right? And so I got up from this nap and I just felt off, dude. My hair is just bugging me to no end, dude. Like I got to get rid of it. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, I got to do one more bowl cut with Al. I'm like, oh, but I just want it off my head. So my body feels off, right? My body feels off. I don't feel good. My diet's been a little funky. And I'm sitting here and I'm like now at that point where I've been in the new environment long enough where it's not new anymore, right? And I sort of was running around watering stuff and I'm sort of like, I was like, had that reality check of don't lose the enthusiasm, in that sense of like the childlike enthusiasm's the key to the whole thing, but the key to it all is realizing that you're supposed to lose your enthusiasm. That's how you recircle back on the enthusiasm. And so the burnout question's good, and the kid with the new school environment is you can change everything and be all shiny and new for a moment, always, but then always the same thing shows up. The burnout I experienced this afternoon of just today, not about anything else except just my own physical, personal spacesuit burnout, right? So I've been in the same body for 52 years, dude, right? I'm burnt out on my body. Like, let's say that. Like, I'm not burnt out on where I'm at. Like, this is rad, dude. But I'm burnt out on this thing I carry around, and I'm like, me, dude. I'm just burnt out on me, my body. Not even me, my internal spiritual self, but my actual just form. My form feels heavy and dense, and I don't know if my pants don't fit, and my shirt itches, and my hair's bugging me, and my right? So the burnout's not your job. The burnout's not your relationship. The burnout's not anything else except it's part of the cycle. It's part of the thing. And so I'm sitting there and I'm under one of the trees out there, and I'm just zenning out with the tree. And I'm thinking about this tree, and I'm like, you know how hoses are, like long hoses, you can fight them and they just like, they tangle up. But if you take the time to like regroup halfway through the hose and pull it around the rock and the whole thing, and like take your time, slow it all down. You regroup. Like the human mind's insane. Like, I didn't get enough done today. It's like, oh, if I did this but I don't feel well, and I'm like, and so acceptance is the whole thing, right? Acceptance is the key to it all, right? The minute I accepted that my blueberry bush might be dead, that I don't know what's up with the apple tree I planted. I don't know what's up with anything. The minute I just began to melt back into this reality and just be like, okay, God, like, you run the show, God. You run the show, God. You take over. You handle this moment, is when it begins to, I begin to feel a little bit better. And it's because now I'm not trying to stay balanced. Now I realize I'm out of balance, and I'm sort of leaning into the unbalanced self, dude. And so I come back in, and I'm like, I asked my wife, like, what time it was. She's like, it's 6:30. And I'm like, oh, it's like Sober Wednesday, dude. It's Sober Wednesday, dude. And so here we are. Like, nothing's wrong. Absolutely nothing's wrong, man. It's just sometimes it's uncomfortable to be in this human form. So you regroup, dude. You regroup, and God provides exactly what it is, a platform to share. And it's funny, I was talking to this kid today. One of the tribe called me up, a young man who was jammed up, dude. He's jammed up. He's like, oh, I'm like experiencing telepathy, and the cops are vibing me, and people are vibing me, and they know what I know, and just this whole thing. And I'm like, yeah, I got no doubt about it. You're doing that. You're picking up signals and the whole thing. And that's what I said to him. I go, it's either a blessing or a curse, right? It's either a blessing or a curse, right? And I think that's the same with the discomfort and the dis-ease. It's either a blessing or a curse, right? So if it's a curse, that means you're just going to stay in the problem, right? You're going to stay in the problem. So unbalanced, blessing or curse. Well, if it's a curse, you're going to fall down and hurt yourself. If it's a blessing, you're going to regain your balance, dude. It's taking you somewhere. So again, I get to these things about all this stuff where, like, as much as I didn't want to feel out of sorts the last couple hours, I didn't view it as a curse. I viewed it as a blessing, because the sooner I realized that I was powerless to this experience I was having, the sooner I realized I didn't have the ability to manage it, the sooner I could find a power greater than myself to restore me to sanity, the sooner I could turn my will, my life over to the care of God as I understood him, right? So it was that thing of one of the problems I think most of us have, especially in this is that like my alcoholism, drug addiction, whatever you want, was a blessing, like a super blessing, because it got me here. But it wasn't until I surrendered the curse of it, right? It wasn't until I ran into Dave and Joe in front of the Country Liquor on the PCH and gave them my curse. And they were like, let us take your curse and help you turn it into a blessing. And that's all I really know, is there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now, right? So it's like the person with the porn and all of it, dude. It's always this. It's all the same problem, dude. It's all the same problem, dude. The crazy world, the crazy society, the porn, the bad relationships, the drugs, the alcohol. It's the burnout at the job. It's lack of being here now, right? And accepting the moment as exactly perfect, right? Like if you had told me 2 hours ago it was perfect, I don't know if I really even would have understood it till I got here to realize that's the only way I get here. The only way I get to this moment right now is through that uncomfortable time 2 hours ago. And what was the uncomfortable? Well, it probably was fear, right? If I truly think about what causes the burnout, what causes the lack of harmony, what causes the lack of balance, it's usually fear, right? Why do you lose balance? Because you're afraid you're gonna fall, right? Like, oh, you start thinking you get out of your thing and you're like, whoa. So why do you get burned out? Is because you're afraid to be there. I don't want to be here. I'm missing something. I'm this and that. So again, is it's about the journey that gets you back to the nowness of it all. And the only thing that I know at this stage of the game is don't fight it, man. Don't fight it, because you don't have the ability to manage it, dude. There is only one that can do it, and that's God. So how do you get back to God? It's tricky, man. It is tricky sometimes, dude. And I think it's just the movement, man. It is just the movement through it. How do you deal with that? I think I just explained it. I think that's how you deal with the unbearable weight of existence. Blessing or curse? How do you find God, dude? Stop looking. I think you stop looking. Like, all right, that's an interesting thing, right? Is how did I get sober? I stopped looking, man. I surrendered to it, right? So imagine looking for something that you don't have the ability to perceive, right? Because God's an interesting concept, right? Because there's one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. That's not that easy, dude, right? So you're looking for God, man. I'm looking for God. Well, you're looking based upon your broken parameters of what you think you're looking for. You're trying to see God with the broken perception, because if you could see God, you would know that you never needed to look for God, right? God has never abandoned you. God is all around you at all times, just infinitely vibrating love and grace and dignity. But you're looking for God. So the premise right there means that your tools are broken, right? You're using the wrong tools, because you don't need to look for God. God's right here, right now, at all times, right? That's what I mean. Like, it's that thing where you have to just surrender to it all and just be like, okay. And one of the things you can do is the simplest prayer I know is what if God deals you a bad hand? And I'm not even getting, God doesn't deal you the bad hand, dude. The hand is dealt. God, the sexual abuse at a young age, who could you not hate? Why? I think it's why could you not hate God? I don't know what God has to do with that. That's the fallen world, man. Like, that's that weird thing. That's it. That's where you're supposed to do the work and ultimately get to forgiveness, dude. I mean, if you get on a deeper level about it, is these were all things that we signed up in the heavenly planes to have happen to us, so that we could find a deeper relationship with God. Hate of God is just it's the thing is. I mean, I can't speak from that experience because that's not my experience. So I don't know, but I know enough people who've been through that experience, and it really comes down to like doing the work so that you can reach forgiveness and forgive the abusers, because it wasn't God. It was just sick people that didn't have God, right? Because that's what we're all trying to do here, is break the cycle, man. We're all trying to break the cycle, dude, because this whole earthly realm of broken souls is abusive, dude. We're all abusive to ourselves primarily, but to other people. And God didn't have anything to do with the Holocaust, dude. That's just, look, that's like kindergarten spirituality, dude. It's like the starving African child and all that stuff. Like if that's the limit, if you can't see the difference between the broken nature of fallen man and what man does to man, dude, and that's man. That's what man without God does to man. Like, it's not God. Like, that's that. There is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. And so, you know, it's easy to scapegoat it, like try to blame God for the actions of man, dude. It's not. It's look deeper than it all, and forgive man for because you are, look, spiritually speaking and sobriety and that, you are the tormentor and you are the tormented at the same time, dude. That's going back to the person who had the weight of this existence. The weight of this existence is the fact that you, me, all of us are the abuser and the abused at the same time, dude. It's only when we pull out of it and then we go back to God and realize that that's just this earthly. All right, well then, all right, see, we got like trolls here, dude. Trauma happens, it awakens. Well, it's a gift if you want it to be, dude, right? But that, you know, that's some of us have chosen. God either struggle. God, I struggle with this a lot. God is either indifferent or lacks some power. I sometimes. Yeah, that's just like the weird thing of again, that is the addiction of the mental gymnastics of trying to find depth in something that's not so deep. I don't know. I've had this realization the last couple weeks that God's a lot, that the depth of God is the shallowness of God at the same time, right? Is dualities are the nature of this whole thing. So everybody's looking for a big spiritual like explanation. What if it's just super shallow? What if there isn't some big metaphysical paragraph? What if it is just, there is one who has all power, that one is God, may you find him now? What if that's it? What if there doesn't need to be anything deeper than that? And in there, you can find infinite depth, man, you know? Yeah, I think, you can either be a vessel for God or not, but you'll never figure out the problem with human suffering, and you won't ever be able to get all the plastic out of the ocean. Truth. That's it. That's what I'm getting at, far out aliens, is everybody's looking to figure out how deep deep God is. But God, by the very definition of God, is undefinable, man. Undefinable. You're trying to figure out something that is so beyond our realm of understanding. Then we only have the five senses in this three-dimensional realm. Like, we're so limited. So why are we trying to put our broken parameters on something that's so beyond us? Because you cannot explain a giraffe, dude. And for me, that's, I think, a lot of where my addiction and alcoholism and drug addiction was trying to figure it out, like looking for the deeper meaning of life, bro. Look at how it's gotta be, there's gotta be a secret to it all. There's gotta be some hidden code. Okay, the deeper code is... we want things to be complex. That doesn't mean they are. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly. That's really what it is. And I think that we all find, I think that part of the suffering, if you will, right? Because this is to help people who are suffering. Why do we suffer? Why do we suffer? Why do we torture ourselves? Why do we abuse ourselves and our fellow human beings and our animals and our trees and our Eden and all of that stuff? Is because we're trying to find something that we don't need to find, right? And it's made us crazy. It's made us out of our mind. It really is this whole thing, right? Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. We're insane. We're all insane. This is proof of our insanity. I mean, look, have you looked around? Like, this is proof that we're insane. Each and every one of us, we're all doing this to each other. And the porn makes you feel better for a split second. The shitty relationship makes you feel better for a second. The alcohol makes you feel better for a second. The drugs make you feel better for a second. The trolling makes you feel better for a second. All of these things are end runs on something that we're trying to alleviate ourselves from. Darn. And that's and then we get out of that painful loop for a minute, and that's, we want more of that. We want to be out of suffering, dude. So instead of us looking for the deeper path out of suffering, which is to accept the suffering as part of the truth, right? I mean, that's like the weird thing, dude. Like, it's funny. I was talking to my buddy who's on the chat right now, dude, yesterday about he was like going on some big surf trip and this, and he's like, I suffered for like 5 years with a physical condition, right? And now he's on the other side of it, going to the thing. But the years of suffering were how he got to this thing to go challenge himself for real, dude. We've all done that. We've all been there. That's what this is about. That's the answer. Is it a blessing or a curse? Is it a blessing or a curse? Was the suffering in vain, or was it for salvation, man? And that is where the work is done, dude. That is where the work is done, dude, is because you have to, sometimes you've got to go through the surgeries and the misery to find the challenge to be successful at something you've always wanted to do. How much did you drink? When was the realization? I drank all of it, dude. Nah, you got to go back to watch some of the other videos. To make you seek and better. This will help people who are down to the path and don't know. when was the realization in a problem you make? I've done Ghost Fire. I've done so many videos about all that, dude. Just got to go look in the archives, man. Because again, it's not the drinking that's the problem, dude. It's the thinking. The drinking, the drugging, the sexing, the pizzas, the eating too many sweet. Dude, look, bro, like the other night, I ate a bag of Swedish fish, dude. Jacked me up the next day more than anything in a long time, dude. Just wedging a bunch of. I remember sitting there eating the Swedish fish, being like, "Why am I doing this to myself?" And I'm like, "Just have one more, dude. Just have one more Swedish fish." And then I was sat there, and the bag, there was like 5 of them, and I'm left. And I'm like, "Well, we might as well finish the bag. Why have them sitting around, right?" So again, is addictions about this weird, just trying to solve this human condition with anything, and being like, this isn't working, but I'm going to keep going. I was standing there at the supermarket like, don't buy the Swedish fish, dude. Don't do it. They will make you feel crappy, and you won't be able to stop once you start eating them, right? So it's not the alcohol, dude. It's the state of this form taking over, dude, my condition, because I forgot my spiritual truth, man, that I don't need a bunch of Swedish fish, man. You know what I mean? What did you notice? What did you notice in health as soon as you quit? 1 month, 6 months, 2 years. You start noticing it pretty quick, man. You ebb and flow, dude. It just gets deeper, dude. I don't know about it instant, man. Fetish, it. I mean, yeah, dude, you instantly are detoxing. Detoxing is brutal, dude. They say it takes a year to detox off alcohol, dude? Like pot, it takes years to detox, get it out of your fat, because it's fat soluble, dude. The quickest one to detox off is the cocaine, dude. The irony of that, dude. Yeah, I bought them, dude. Yep, I sat there, and that's what I mean. I bought the Swedish fish knowing that they were going to make me feel crappy, and I wasn't going to be able to stop eating them. But I had convinced myself it was okay, dude. It's going to be fine, dude. It's just a little bit of, it's just a bag of Swedish fish, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that is the whole thing, dude. Yeah, instantly a different living experience. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, far out alien. It's like, but I think when people ask about when you notice your health coming back, is takes a while to detox, man, and then rewire your mind, dude. No, I just wanted some Swedish fish, dude. That it had me, dude. Like, that's the thing, dude. It's again, it's not that deep. I wanted a bag of Swedish fish. I knew they were going to jack me up, dude. And I wasn't going to be able to control myself, dude. And I knew better. And I was like, I want the Swedish fish, dude. Just like I want a drink, dude, or a line of Coke, or a bunch of LSD, or whatever it is, dude. A bunch of this, a bunch of that, man. I don't keep it vague, dude. That again, as I've been as specific, like, again, is look, JGTV, like, it keep it vague. It's like, you know why I keep it vague? Is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, dude. whatever it is that's blocking you from having a whatever it is. Look, dude, having had a spiritual result of these steps, we carry this message to alcoholics and practice these principles in all of your affairs, right? It's whatever it is that's blocking that. It doesn't matter. It's pouring pizzas, Swedish fish, jerking off, sitting around, waves, whatever it is, dude. Look, man, I have blown more of my life chasing the ocean, just as much as I've blown it chasing 12 packs and 8 balls, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that thing is when it stops becoming, it's not that deep, dude. It's just a weird thing that, like, you just realize that you're not truly doing what you're supposed to be doing. What if there was nothing to get? I mean, that's how you find, that's what I'm trying to get at, is in there, that's where you get all the stuff, dude. That's what I mean. That's where the depth lies. The depth lies in the shallowness. I think that's the hardest part about it. Look, it took me sitting in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous 7 years, 6 years, 7 years, something like that, to hear finally this old dude, Perry, this old ex-UCLA basketball coach, Perry, old sober dude, this old black dude, old timer, used to get up at this meeting I went to, and he'd say the same thing every time. There is one who has all power, that one is God, may you find him now. And he would go on and on about it, dude. And I was 6 years sober, and I'd been going to this meeting for a year, and I'd listen to this dude, once a week I'd go to this meeting. And I must have heard this dude share 30 times. 30 times, man. There's one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. And then I heard it. I just heard it once. And I was like, oh, dude, no way. It's that dumb basic. There is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. And in there, it's infinitely deep. That's what I mean. It's it took me sitting in sobriety 6+ years, and I heard this dude share that 30+ times, and then one time the light went on, and I was like, oh. Because I'm sitting there trying to figure it all out. I'm overthinking it. I'm doing all this other spiritual work. I'm with these gnarly spiritual dudes. We're bending time and space. We're doing all this stuff in sobriety. It's all gnarly, dude. And then you just come to this simple, oh, well, look at that carpenter bee. Did you see that carpenter bee just fly by? That thing was rad, dude. Look, it's like when you realize that this is all fake, right? So I remember I was talking to my spiritual advisor, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I see there's no separation, man. It's all connected. And I go, I'm sitting here trying to bend this light pole with my mind, man. He's like, yeah. He's like, right on, dude. And he's like, why do you need to do that? And I'm like, well, I'm like, and he's like, what's the point of that? You already know that it's all interconnected. And the only reason you can't bend the light pole with your mind is because you're trying to bend the light pole with your mind, man. It's the thing about the spoon in the Matrix, dude. You can't bend the spoon. There is no spoon. right? So it's that thing is like, that's what the addiction is this, I think at this point, the addiction is the addiction to this, trying to find the depth of meaning that isn't there. And that once you realize there is one who has all power, that one is God, may you find him now. There it just expands into this mwah of the whole thing. But in order to get to that point, you got to strip yourself of all the BS, dude. Look, it's that thing. It's like this guy right here. Unfortunately, being high or drunk is the only thing that turns my mind off from negative thoughts. And I hate it. Stop trying to turn your mind off, dude. Like you do realize that is exactly what I'm talking about. Like you're trying to turn your mind off, so you're using drugs and alcohol to do it, which is keeping your mind awake, dude. Like, it's this thing where you're just building a monster. Stop doing it. Allow yourself to have the negative thoughts. It's a program of thorough honesty, dude. It's okay to see the world as half empty, dude. Because that's half full at the same time. It's this thing where, like, it doesn't change the thing. It's just the acceptance that you are what that is. And the minute you make peace with that component of yourself, you don't live like that. It's fighting it that causes it to live, dude. That's what I'm getting at. Is addiction. The addiction is the fighting to pretend that it doesn't exist. When it does, just admit it to yourself. Admit it to yourself that you're powerless, it's unmanageable, that you can't change your mind, that your mind's full of garbage, that the bag of garbage you carry around is there. And it's okay. That's why you go and turn your will and your life over to the care of God of your understanding, is to just give your garbage back. It's this thing is pretending that drugs and alcohol are going to turn your mind off. It's only making it stronger. When it's accept that you perceive it that way, the minute you understand you perceive it that way is the minute it will begin to change, because you're not in resistance to it. It's the Chinese finger torture, dude. It's like, just let go and let God, right? Cliche to the core, dude. I mean, yeah, man. There is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. And the reason you can't find him now is because you're putting everything else in front of that. The layers and layers you put in front of the surrender, right? The layers and layers, man. It's a program of thorough honesty, dude. It's just a program of thorough honesty. It's okay to see the world as suck. It's okay to see, it's okay, dude. Yeah. Yeah, Steve Wilcox, exactly. It's look, man, It's funny. It's funny just sitting here in that moment right now, just going, I'm going to go back to what the old guy said to me, and I heard him say in St. George, Utah, dude. Definition of spiritual experience, not having to drink today, dude. Like, I didn't have to drink today, dude. I'm thinking about how weird I felt earlier, and I'm like, dude, I got through it. I didn't have to drink today. I didn't have to drug today. I didn't have to escape my crappy feeling I had today, dude. Like, I didn't. I'm here. Like, that is the gift of 13 years of doing this thing, man. Is you realize that you don't have to do you have any thoughts on the Big Bang and God? Maybe both are real. Maybe God is the Bang. I don't know. Like I said, dude, I'm over all the mental masturbation about it. There is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. I don't care about Big Bangs. I don't care about any of that nonsense. Look, the closer I get to God, the less I care about the definition of what is or isn't, dude. You know what I mean? As I realize that it's just my perception, dude. And my perception's based upon what I do to myself, dude. Right? I eat a bag of Swedish fish, I'll feel crappy the next day. I don't drink enough water, I feel crappy, dude. I don't eat properly, I feel crappy. It doesn't take much. We're very sensitive. The human machine, this bioelectric mechanical suit that we wear is hypersensitive to all of it, dude. Yeah, it doesn't seem that hypersensitive when you're dumping porno and alcohol on it, dude. But like when you remove all that stuff and you're pretty fine-tuned, it's like, dude, you feel all of it, dude. Yeah, sober is the ultimate bong hit, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. That's all I got for you, dude. The biomagnification of Swedish fish is not good. Yeah. So with that said, look, on the way out, man, it's if you guys could send me up the suicide prevention numbers, I would that'd be great, dude. Because if you're thinking about killing yourself right now and you want to give up, don't, dude. There is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. And you can be of service. Your life is valuable. And if you have mental health issues, I talked to a dude today that may or may not have mental health issues. It's for him to figure out. But you're not alone. It's okay, dude. It's okay to be off. It's okay, dude. It's either a blessing or a curse, dude. There it is. The Canadian, thank you, Kimmy. The Canadian suicide prevention number is 1-833-456-456. Canadian suicide prevention number is 1-833-456-4566. And EL, thank you. Thank you, my brother up in Washington, Leggy Maggie, dude, for the suicide prevention number in the United States of America. It's 1-800-273-8255, 1-800-273-8255. Your life's valuable, man. Whether you're high or not or whatever, wherever you are, dude, like, look, you guys saved me tonight. If I didn't have a reason to flip this on at 6:30, dude, I don't know, dude. Like, so, Australian helpline's 131114, dude. The UK one is 116123 ROI UK, dude. So look, there's help out there. Be of service. Call someone for help, dude. Like, look, some young man called me today and talked to me. I don't even know if but like, just he was of service to me, dude, because I had to like I got out of my own head. So please take care of yourselves. Please love each other. Use the name tags, and God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God has blessed us all. I hope you know that and understand that. And if you haven't, I hope you find that understanding and knowledge. So with that said, I'm out of here. We'll see you next Wednesday. Good night. And adios.